About the keyhole method. Keyhole is a method that is not as difficult as the full Friedrich method to learn. There are only one or two algorithms for it, and they are the same as you already use with a normal beginner's method. So first I'll show you a normal beginner's method, a layer by layer method, and then I'll show you the same only with keyhole. Normally you make the cross of a color, and of course you make sure that all of these colors match. And then with the beginner's method you look for a white corner, you put it where it's supposed to go, and you do this 4 times. So after you have done this, you have a complete white layer, and where there's green, red, blue and orange. And now you start to look at a color like green-orange and you put it here. The problem with this is that it takes quite a lot of moves, somewhere between 7 and 9 depending on the algorithm you've learned for this. This is a very easy one for it, but it takes 9 moves. And if you do this for all of the edges, you can have problems like this, where green, red is already in the right place, but twisted wrong, so then you have to turn it, or actually you have to do the algorithm once, and then you have to replay, put it in there again. This is easy, but it takes more moves than it should. Okay, let's mess it up again, and then I'll make a cross. Okay, as you can see, I've made my white cross, and the order of the pieces is correct. So red, green, orange and blue are where they should be, but they don't have to necessarily match up for this method, or at least not yet. So now you start exactly the same as you would with a beginner's method. You start by looking for a corner, and as you can see there are 4 corners wrong, because this one is already wrong. So we put in the first one, which only takes 3 moves. Then we put in the next one, which only takes 3 moves. And then we look for the next one. Okay, until here there is no difference with the normal beginner's method. But we don't put in the last corner yet. This is our working corner or keyhole. And the big advantage of this is that if we want something like the blue-orange, we just make sure the empty corner is below or at the position of blue-orange, and now we can put this piece in between here with 1, 2, 3 moves. So we save a lot of moves. So we look for another piece, for example the red-green. We put the empty corner between it, and with 1, 2, 3 moves we can put it there. We put the empty corner here. Well, in this case it's connected, so it's not going to take 3 but 4 moves. 1, 2, 3, and finally we turn it below the last one, and now it depends on how advanced of a working corner method you want to use, because in the previous example this would have taken really many moves, but if you want to use a normal beginner's method, you have to put the last corner in now, which would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves, but most of the time it only takes 3 or 4. And accidentally we've also made this one but normally you can just make the last one like you're used to, and finally you connect it. So let's do one more. Okay, so first we make the cross and we make sure the order is correct. So now we have the white cross with red, green, orange, blue, which is the right order. You can see here, red, green, orange, blue. Now we look for a corner and we just put in the first corner, the second corner, and corner number 3. But we leave the last corner open. I see orange blue here, so I put this one below orange blue. 1, 2, 3. I see red blue here, so I put this below red and blue. 1, 2, 3. I see green red here, so I put it below it. 1, 2, 3. And now I put in my final corner, 1, 2, 3, and then this is just a normal method to get it here. So this takes a little more moves than before, but in total you save about 10 to 15 moves. It depends a little on how many problems you run into. And you don't need to learn any more algorithms for this, or at least not for the beginner's method of this way. After you've learned how to do a keyhole like this, you can make it a little more advanced, and I will show you that too. But this is not necessary, it's just if you want to progress even beyond this, but now you need to learn extra algorithms. You start just as before, with the cross in the right order. Then you put in 3 of the corners. You put in orange blue, so below orange blue, you match it, red blue, green red, and before we make the final corner, we make the edge and then we put in the last corner. Of course, this takes some extra algorithms, but you don't run into strange situations like this one, where this needs to be flipped. It takes some extra algorithms, but you can be a little faster because you don't run into strange situations.